Hey everyone, so I got quite a bit of a collection of these Garbage Pail Kids. I know they say stickers, but I see them more as cards. I just want to show you a lot of them that I got. These are just some of the categories of the ones I got. And I got a lot of these off of like eBay pretty much. You can also find them on Amazon. You might be able to even find them at some thrift stores. I only have a few random ones. The ones that I have mostly are from TV shows, horror movies, stuff like that. So yeah, I just want to show you because I think this is an awesome collection and I hope you like it. And if you like anything you see, check it out. I still want to get a lot more, of course. I was also going to show you the Christmas ones I have another time, of course, since we're not there just yet. But I'm going to save something special for last on this video. I just got a bunch of random ones, but I'll tell you what category they are under. Alright, so we'll start. I just have one of these, so we'll start with the ones I only have one of each category. 90s fads. Napster. It's supposed to be Napster. If you guys remember Napster at all? I thought it was funny, so I got this one. Because that was huge. If you don't know, that was huge in the 90s, downloading music. Pretty sure it was illegal, like LimeWire was, but a lot of people did use it. It was a big thing. So modern sci-fi sticker, and this one is Deadly Donnie. So this is from Donnie Darko, if you've seen that movie. This is Frank. I thought it was really cool. And this is an airplane engine, if you would understand that reference if you've seen the movie. They made a second one, which I actually think is really good. It's called S. Darko. It's off of his sister, and it's played by the same girl that played his sister, and she also plays in The Ring as Samara. Just a little tidbit there. Alright, and this one is 80s sci-fi sticker, and it is The Thing. Repulsed Russell, but I like how they have the little spider creature in there. And then, you know, the blood when they test it. It's a great movie if you've never seen it. I actually haven't seen the remake. I heard it's not very good. I'm more into originals, but I don't know, I'll watch it someday, but I love the 80s one, so. Alright, so 90s toy sticker. Tickled Elmo. He's all mad because he's tired of being tickled. If you know this doll, you know that it was a Tickle Me Elmo, and you go, Tickle Me Elmo. Can't really talk like Elmo, but yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I had one. I don't think I have them anymore, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure I did. So yeah, it's definitely a cool little thing to have, nostalgic. Alright, this one I do have two of, but I'll show you why. So this is 90s music and celebrity sticker. Same because it is the Spice Girls, both of them are. But I had gotten two because of the name. I like the Ginger, and then I like the Spice Gal. So I just ended up getting both, and you can see they're being like basically put into one of those spice, the thing you make like ginger spices out of. But yeah, I think these are cool. I love the Spice Girls. They were one of my favorite bands. And now I don't know what every single Garbage Pail Kid card there is, but you know, these are ones that I saw and I really wanted to get them. Now I have seen ones that unfortunately I didn't get because they're like super expensive. Alright, so the last single category one that I have, and then I'll show you some random ones here in a few, is this 80s video game sticker. And actually this is going to be a present from my boyfriend. But here it is. Thought this was really cool. Arcade. Awesome. And I love that now they made little mini arcades that you can buy and put in your house. I think that's freaking awesome. And I didn't really grow up playing arcade games, but I think they're really cool. I mean, I did more so when they put them on like PlayStation and stuff like that. Alright, so these are kind of the random ones. I'll just show you. There is really no backs to them. But this is the Doughboy. Pillsbury Doughboy. I absolutely love him. Grew up watching him all the time. I thought he was so cute when you tickle his, in the commercials when you tickle his belly. I love that he's pooping out these little cupcakes. It's so funny. Doughboy. This one is Amusement Parker. You know, off of the bumper cars. I think that's really funny. This one is Melton. I don't know if they have other ones. with different names. Sometimes they do. With some of these cards, you can get them as different names. So the ones that I got, I like the best. And I will show you something else on that, like the Spice Girls one. You know, they had 2 different names. But this one's funny. See, they're very morbid most of the time. So it's a single, but it coincides, so I'll show you. So this one's 80s celebrity sticker, and it is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And I love that she has these little bats in her hair. Yeah, absolutely love her. So that coincides with, and I have a few of these horror personality stickers. Like I said, I consider them more cards, but it does say pill here right there. So you can pill them, but I'm keeping them like this as like a card. And I'm just gonna like show them off and stuff. And like this one I had in a case. So I think that's cool that they keep them in there safely and stuff. Alright, so this one is Elvira. Engaging Elvira. Sometimes they will put the name of who it actually is, and sometimes they won't. So I wonder if that's like a copyright thing or something they have. But yeah, these are my 2 Elviras then that I got. So I absolutely love her. And I think they may have a few more, but these are just the ones I got for now anyway. I love the skull she's holding. And if you know who Elvira is, you know she used to host On a Couch Like This. They have made a few movies off of her. If you don't know who she is, you should definitely check her out. She's amazing. And then this one is King of Horror, which I think, you know, Stephen King, if you didn't know. All his books. And then this one's Wicked West, so it's Wes Craven. He's famous mostly for his Nightmare on Elm Street, and then he got really famous for Scream, and he did Last House on the Left, and I believe he did The Hills Have Eyes. That's why it looks like that in the background. I can say all that. But yeah, I love Wes Craven. He's one of my favorite directors. He's definitely someone I would love to have met, but unfortunately he's no longer with us. And King, let me go back to this. Absolutely love Stephen King books. I've been trying to actually read them all, if I can, but I love a lot of his movies. And yes, I love the Shining series, not the movie. I read the book. He did write the Shining series, miniseries, so that's probably why I like it more than Stanley Kubrick. So yeah, you can hate me, but if you haven't seen the series, I definitely recommend it and see what you think. I just think the movie didn't have enough, I don't know, to it. But you reading the book and then seeing this mini-series, definitely tell that he wrote the book too. Definitely goes more by the book, so. Alright, so that's it for those. Into 80s horror sticker. 80s horror stickers. Alright, and this one, alright, we'll just pull them over. This one is Maxim Overdrive. So it is off of Maximum Overdrive. It's really cool. Okay. Body count. So like body count, and it says all the horror guys. Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, Hellraiser, Cinnamon Bite, Michael Myers, and Chucky. We got Lost Boyd, the Lost Boys obviously. David. Alright, so this one I think is supposed to be Dwayne, and that one's supposed to be Paul. I don't think it's supposed to be Marco, but also if you remember in the movie, the Fogg brothers say, kill the one that looks like Twisted Sister, and it's supposed to be that one. Pretty sure that's who they are. And I think it's cool they have the little carnival up there. I'll turn it around so you can kind of see it. Yeah, so cool. One of my favorite movies. Surprised actually this isn't under the cult horror, because I'll show you those, but I'm kind of surprised it would be under 80s horror instead of cult, because I feel like a lot of people know it, but then I feel like a lot of people don't. So Tale from the Crypt, but you know it's supposed to be Tales from the Crypt, the Crypt Keeper. And yeah, they did make them into comic books, but I mostly definitely watched the show. I have the whole series. I love the show. Definitely not for the lighthearted, but it is so good. They have so many great twists in it. I would highly recommend it. Creep Joe. So this is like Creep Show. Garbage Pail Kids comics. That's funny. Then you can see some of the other ones they made. But so we'll get into the cult horror then, since I brought it up. Just think these are so cool. Okay, so we'll turn them around. So this is also a present because my boyfriend loves killer clowns. So this is Killer Clyde. If you've never seen Killer Clowns, it's an 80s horror, but definitely, probably, you know, somewhat popular, but maybe not as popular. That's why I guess it would be considered a cult. But it's just a really cheesy 80s horror. It's awesome though. I think you'd love it. If you like clowns, even if you're scared of clowns, watch it. It's just too funny. And they're kind of cute in it too. But yeah, they're like alien clowns. This one, and I don't know if many people have ever seen this movie, but it's one of my absolute favorite movies. This one's Kelly Comet. And this one is from The Night of the Comet. It actually is one of the best movie soundtracks ever made too, but it's like impossible to get because it's like really expensive or it's just hard to get. But I absolutely love this movie. She is actually the sister of the main character. I wouldn't even say she's the main character, but she's not the main character. So it's interesting they actually made her one. I don't know if they made one of the other girl. I think you should look that up, but it's definitely very great 80s horror. You should check it out. And then this one, probably most of you would know. Tammy Warp, like Time Warp. So Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I think that's supposed to be Eddie. And then it's funny because it's Meatloaf. I think it's supposed to be him on the ground. Crazy because I was thinking recently, I was looking up Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's from 79. I thought it was more like 80s. It's insane. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, just definitely check it out. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite movies. Musicals too. So yeah. This one is 35 years of Garbage Pail Kids. So we hate the 90s. I think that's... And then this one says Revenge, oh the horror, oh the horrible. So they're technically in the same category, just a little different in the same. Alright, so the first one is The Lost Boys again. Edgy Edgar. So those are the Frog Brothers. That's supposed to be Corey Feldman because Corey Haim's in it and they were doing so many movies together in the 80s, early 90s. I've seen almost everything they've done actually. Corey Haim is no longer with us. And we got Austin Powers, which it's called Rotten Austin. I love the Austin Power movies. All three of them actually I think are hilarious. So just had to get that one. So these are slasher films. So here we go. Normal Norman. And if you know, it is from Psycho. He dresses like his mom to kill people, even though she's dead. Great movie. I actually didn't know for a little while it was a book. I need to read the book. So if you didn't know, it's a book. It's crazy. I didn't pay attention, I guess, when reading the credits. But yeah, I love Psycho. Psycho is one of my favorite horror movies. 60s horror, but still amazing. And then we have Ghost Faith. Because in the movie, if you've seen the Scream movies, I absolutely love all of them. Fourth one is my absolute favorite. And I know they're making a new one, and unfortunately Wes Craven, like I said, isn't with us anymore. So he won't be involved, so I hope it's good because I love horror movies, but I'm not a big fan of more like horror movies coming out today. They just don't have the same oomph. They just don't have the same goodness they used to. I don't know. So don't feel us, people making Scream 5. And it is a lot of the same actors, so that's awesome. But in the movie, it shows a priest outfit, so I think that's why they went with Ghost Faith. So at first, that's like what his outfit is. And then we got Figuring Freddy. It's Jason and Freddy. I think it's supposed to be off of Freddy vs. Jason, if you've seen that movie. Freddy is my absolute favorite. But I couldn't find a lot of Garbage Pail Kids cards. And then maybe they did have them and I just can't find them for sale anyway. But yeah, I think that's why they're doing the body count, because I think this one was definitely called two different things, but I went with Figuring Freddy. Because they're marking off who killed the most. So this one I love because I love the Saw movies. Saw, so cool. It's Billy the Puppet off of the Saw movies. If you've seen Saw, only the first one, you should definitely check out all of them. I did recently watch Spiral. I thought it was okay. It was a little maybe predictable, but definitely worth a watch if you love the series. I love these because there's a good moral behind it. It may not seem like it, but there is. So, and then this one is Bloody Buddy. This one's off of Bloody Valentine, and if you don't know, it was an original from the 80s, and then they remade it in like early 2000s, I think it was. And they're both really good. They obviously made the remake for 3D, which I thought was really cool, because I did see it in theaters then. But yeah, I definitely would check them out if you haven't. Definitely watch both. Now, 80s movies. There's only 3 of them. But I am a big 80s buff, so as you can tell with a lot of the horror ones. So here we go. Dirty Dancy. It's funny. But this is from obviously Dirty Dancing, and see his hands are going through her. And I know they remade this with Abigail Breslin, and then I think they made a second one or something. I haven't seen that one, but I did watch the remake with Abigail Breslin. It was not very good at all. So, unfortunately, it was very disappointing. Sorry, Abigail, I do love you, but I wasn't a fan of the movie. Alright, this one is Melting Molly. And if you know, it's from 16 Candles. That's why it's Molly, because she's Molly Ringwald. It's not that, it's her name. Her name is Samantha Sam, I think they call her mostly in the movie. And this is at the end. Alright, and then this one is The Breakfast Club, and Molly Ringwald again. Club Claire, because her name is Claire in the movie. And like I said, this one's a little more like on the gross side than the horror side. Yeah. And there's a lot of famous people out of this movie, so definitely check it out if you never have. It's John Hughes, one of my favorite directors as well, and unfortunately he's not with us any longer either. This is retro horror, so we'll start with. This actually is the movie that changed my life and made me want to become a filmmaker. So The Exorcist, Regurgitating Reagan. So if you've never seen The Exorcist, her name's Reagan, and that's basically the devil demon that's haunting her and possesses her in the movie. It's great. It made Linda Blair very famous, who plays Reagan. It's a great movie, very slow pace. It was the 70s, but a great horror movie for its time. Made me want to become a filmmaker because I saw it, I don't know, and just some like horror ideas popped in my head, so I owe this movie. But it's also great, and I think they're remaking it, which makes me sad. I know they've done like other movies off of exorcisms, and they've made, I think, 3 of the, off of the original, and I think Linda Blair is in all 3, or maybe at least the second one, which was kind of boring. But, yeah, I'm kind of sad they're making a new one, unless they do it good, but we'll see. This is Psycho Sissy, and this is Carrie. And if you haven't seen the original, which you definitely should, because the remake, I think they made like a TV movie one, they made 2 of those, and then they did one with Chloe Moretz, which I do like Chloe, but I just didn't like her version. So this is off of Sissy Spacek, which plays Carrie in the movie. And I think she is the best Carrie, pretty much the only Carrie. But funny enough, I've been reading the book, and her character, that like the way they chose her was not the way she's described in the book. But she does an amazing Carrie. So I'm almost done with the book. I'm almost there. But it's a great book. I think Stephen King writes great, and his stories are really great, but sometimes he does go off a little on like rants, so just remember when you're reading. Alright, and this is Morticia. Morticia. And I think most of you definitely would know who the Addams Family is. They've had so many different generations of it, starting in the 60s, and then they did the 90s movies. They made an animated TV series. They've also made another live action TV series. They made another movie, not just the ones with like Angelica Houston in it, but yeah, and then now they've had those 2D animated ones. So okay, and then we have Massacred Matt. And if you're like, why is this in the retro, just in case you didn't know, Chainsaw Massacre came out in the 70s. And then they remade it in the early 2000s, and then they've done, obviously a bunch of other stuff off of that. But I do love Leatherface. He is awesome. And I will say, I'm not a huge fan of remakes. I think I said, but I absolutely love the 2000 and I love the one with Jessica Biel. I think they did an amazing job. I do like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The second one is insane, but I will say I think it was kind of made a little bit before its time. 90s films. Alright, this is Dumb and Dumber, Laughable Lloyd. I think they have two different names for him, probably one off of Harry, but I just got this one. I thought it was really cool. It's not really like too bad, his ear, he's pulling his ears off, but you know, comparative to the other ones, I think this one's actually pretty innocent. Okay. Mary Moose. Yeah, off of There's Something About Mary. And she put the little nastiness in her hair. So this one's definitely more gross, but if you've seen the movie, you know what this refers to is kind of gross anyway. But I won't tell you if you haven't seen the movie. So check out the movie. It's Cameron Diaz. Didn't know. With Ben Stiller. Right, and yeah, of course, I had to get an Edward one. He's one of my favorite characters, favorite movies. So cool. So cute. He looks just like him though. It's insane. Edward, you know, because if you've seen the movie, of course, he does make stuff out of the bushes. Alright, and this one, I had to get a Titanic one. Titanic is one of my favorite movies ever made. Jack, and I believe this one has two different names, but I went with this one. I think it's so cool. This one's pretty innocent too, but you know, it's pretty morbid if you know the movie. Or the story, really. Titanic, you know, sunk. So it's more morbid than I think it is, like, kind of disturbing or whatever, or gross. Alright, and there's all that. Okay. Alright, and these I have a little bit of 90s TV. These are shows I grew up watching, and obviously there's a lot more shows I grew up watching, but these ones I had to get because of that. So we'll start with this one. This is Boy Meets World. So Boy Meets World. One of my favorite shows. Alright, and this one is, you might be like, oh, that's supposed to be it or something. Yeah, right? You think so? It's Afraid of the Mark, so it's supposed to be off of Afraid of the Dark, and they do have a few clown episodes. One of my favorite 90s shows ever made, so yeah, I thought that was really cool. And you get it by the candle and stuff too, but yeah, you kind of like go, oh, that's Pennywise, but it's not. Alright, and this one is Zack Attack. If you've seen Saved by the Bell, you would know Zack Attack is the band that they all make together. And that's supposed to be Screech, Justin Diamond, R.I.P. again. But yeah, this one's definitely one of my favorites. I've watched every episode. I've watched even the Good Morning Miss Bliss, which has a few of the characters before they went into Saved by the Bell. So if you've never seen that, check that out. They've done a few movies too. And then I think they have that remake. I'm a little nervous to watch it, so yeah, just so you know. Alright, Cleaved Steve. Yeah, this one isn't like really gross or anything, but it's just more kind of funny. If you know, this is off of Family Matters. It's Steve Urkel. That's why it's Cleaved Steve. He's a nerd. He walks funny. I love Steve. He's so funny. He's so cute. And he was on an episode of Full House once, which was just so funny. He was trying to teach Uncle Jesse how to walk, in his little nerd walk. But I absolutely love Family Matters. My favorite episode, I would say, is probably the Christmas one, which is supposed to be, you know, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is Will Smith. He got like one of his biggest starts on this show. Absolutely love this show. It's so good. Yeah. There's only a few of these. Folklore Monster. So I had to get Bigfoot, Handy Sandy. Absolutely love Bigfoot. I do believe in cryptozoology, so I felt like I had to get this one, but I wish they had a Mothman one, but I haven't seen one anyway. Sorry for that. And I have Tall Paul, which is supposed to be the Slender Man. It's funny, because he is very tall. Of course, those are cool. If you like folklore, cryptozoology kind of stuff. These are cool. Alright, getting there. I promise you we're getting there. Oh, and the last one I have that is one technically, but it is two, is they put them front and back, so I'm just going to show you the one first. It is the Bill and Ted. So it has Taz Ted, and then on the back one it has Buzz Bill, and I actually ended up buying this in a set because that's the way it came, and then I also like both names, so I just went ahead and got it for both. But I absolutely love this. I think it's awesome. And they show like all the, pretty much the main characters, except for the girls, but it's so funny. And if you didn't know, they did make a Bill and Ted's animated series, and you know they made the new one, which I haven't actually seen yet. I do need to get on that, but yeah, I just think it's so funny. Right, modern horror, and then this is the last category until I show you the little surprises I'm going to show you, so I promise you we are almost there. Alright, modern horror. So The Witches, which again is Angelica Houston, and this is definitely off of the old one, not the new HBO one. Witchy Winnie, and I think you can see her little mask. It's funny, little human mask, and all these birds on her, pooping on her nose. So funny. And I haven't read the book yet. I'm about to. If you didn't know, it was by the same guy that wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I will begin on that, and I will watch the new one too. I mean, I'm curious on how they did it. Okay, Disturbed Dolly. So if you know, this is Annabelle, and it looks like it's kind of more off the first one, second one as well, because they have the demon behind her. I just thought that was really cool. I love the Conjuring universe, and the Annabelle movies are really good. The third Conjuring I thought was okay. It wasn't my favorite, but definitely a good series. And then of course I love Insidious. I didn't see one of those anyway, so. Alright, Purge Surge. Off of The Purge, obviously. This is definitely off of more of the election year one, the third one. So this one's pretty gross. Even though this movie, the idea of this movie and the movies are probably one of the most disturbing horror movies you could possibly have. And then they did that with it instead. So it's kind of funny. Ironic. Alright, Hand Over Hannibal. Using him as like a dolly. That's so nice. But, you know, if you know the Hannibal, and this as I would think would be more off of Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal than the TV series. I haven't watched the TV series, kind of, you know, I love the movies, love the books, so I kind of, you know, I'll watch it at some point, but this I definitely wanted to get more off of the fact that it's Anthony Hopkins, so, so funny. Alright, Yon On Un, and the reason why, if you don't know this is the Grudge, obviously the little kid. They are originally from Japan. They are Japanese horror movies first, before the American ones came out. And I think there's 3 of them, and then there's 3 of the Grudges here. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 of the Grudges here. And then there's the new one that came out with, yeah, that came out last year, I think it was. So, if you didn't know, that's why. This is like basically the Japanese way of saying it. And I don't know, I'm probably saying it wrong because I don't know how to say it, but that's the title of the Japanese one. Yeah, it's so cool. And Nina Nun. And if you know the Conjuring universe again, she was in the second one, and then they made a movie off of her. So I don't know which one this is supposed to necessarily be, if it's off the Conjuring or just her character in general, like with the movie. I will say the movie was okay, not my favorite. I do have a lot of problems with it, so I kind of yell while watching it. It irritates me. And I guess they're making another one. Don't really know why, because the first one failed, but I love her character. I will say the nun is probably one of the creepiest characters I've ever seen in a movie. But her movie just didn't do justice for her, unfortunately. That is cool. Alright, and then we have Ringwald. Off of The Ring, and like I said, the girl that's in Donnie Darko. If you didn't know that, same girl that played in The Ring, Samara. It's funny. They made 2 of The Rings, and then they went back and did the movie Rings, and it was okay. Alright, so now for the special little tree. I was going to do this as an individual video, but I realized I actually don't have that many. And these are kind of in different categories that I showed you already, but they are Halloween, I think, related. So I just wanted to show you those. So these are Halloween. That's why I have the little decorations here too. So this is Meditating Michael. It's like when he was out picking out the mask, trying to see which one he wanted. It's funny. So off of the movie Halloween, of course. And then Halloween, but it's Halloween. Michael Myers. And I guess when I'm talking about Michael Myers, I refer more to like the originals. So the one that came out in the 70s, and I really love the 80s ones. The 4th and 5th one are my absolute favorites. I love those ones. With Daniel Harris as a little girl, which of course the 1st and 2nd, you know, can't go on without those. And then I love the 8th one with Tyra. It's funny you got to see her in that movie. I love Tyra. Wish I had a Tyra one. So cool, his little eyeballs, and just he's so cute. You know, he looks so mad. And then we have Trick or Pete off of the Trick or Treat movie. This is Sam. What he looks like without his little mask on, which he has here, so I'll flip it over just so you can kind of see it. That's cool. Love the Trick or Treat movie. I know they're making another one, so we'll see how that goes. Then we have Pumpkin Patrick. This will probably be off of Pumpkinhead, I think. I could be wrong. And I've seen that movie, I just haven't seen it that many times to like kind of remember it too much. But I just thought it was really cool anyway, because it has all these, it's very Halloween related. So there's like the pumpkin spice and all the candies and fall treats he has. So I just thought that was really cool. So yeah, this is all the Garbage Pail Kids that I have. I hope you think they're really cool, and if you want them, check them out on eBay, Amazon. Like I said, you probably could go to thrift stores. If you do find them, let me know if you find them at thrift stores and if they're a reasonable price. I got mine for about a couple bucks. You know, shipping, you know, some of the cards could come to about 10 bucks, but it's, you know, maybe 5 bucks with shipping in total. But yeah, they're just really cool, and I love just having them around and showing off. So I'll be putting them up probably somewhere somehow. So, but yeah, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a great fall. Happy Halloween. And there will be more to come with other things that I do. Check out my channel for other random things that I do. But I just really want to show you these. So please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.